Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup, and that includes new eyeshadow palettes from my favorite indie brands. And today we have a brand new palette from Gourmande Girls just in time for spooky season. Look at this palette. When this was announced and I was told that I was being sent this palette, I was so excited to see it just based on the cover. I kept thinking, if all these colors are in here, these teals, these purples, these oranges, these greens, we are in for just the spooky season fall treat. And wait until you see the inside of this palette. This is the Calavera palette from Gourmande Girls. There is a large mirror inside, and look at this color story. Does this not scream Halloween, spooky season, fall? I love that there's even bright shades in here that can be used for spring and summer. This is an absolutely insanely beautiful palette. There's multi-chromes in here, duochromes, sparkly shadows. This shade right here, when I swatched it, originally I thought it was black, and then I swatched it and it ended up being this burgundy black, glittery goodness, just absolutely beautiful. Calavera is a larger than our usual palette and definitely larger than life. It's not easy to capture the shifts, sparkles, and absolute wonderment of the 6 shifty shades. Whether you celebrate the Day of the Dead, spooky season, both or nothing at all, this launch is for everyone. You can use my code for 10% off, and this palette is launching Friday, September 27th at 8 a.m. PST for $64.99. The skull is the context of Day of the Dead, which can refer to any artistic representation of skulls, skeletons, or gifts, or sugary treats called sugar skulls. Calaveras represents deceased souls during the Day of the Dead celebration. Now, when you see this video, this palette is live. I am having this video go live the minute you can buy this because I have a feeling this may sell out. Not only is the outside packaging gorgeous, the color story is so incredibly unique, and you saw the swatches. Those swatches were insane. Even this white matte swatched beautifully. I love Gourmande Girls. It's one of my favorite indie brands. And to be honest with you, I think this is one of my favorite color stories that they've done. Now we are going to do an eye look today. I cannot wait. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. Turn your bell on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. I will link the Gourmande Girls Calavera palette down below with a 10% discount, as well as all of my favorite beauty boxes, all of the makeup that I'm wearing in today's video. If you would like to shop my completed look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. Let me zoom you in and let's test out Gourmande Girls Calavera palette. So as always, the first thing I am going to do is prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. I always have this linked down in the description box. It is the only eyeshadow primer that I use. There are just some absolutely insanely beautiful shades in this palette. She's a big palette. Like I said, much bigger than the typical Gourmande Girls, but I'm not mad about it. I definitely want to go for a spooky season, colorful Day of the Dead look. So I'm going to take my inspiration actually from the cover of the palette. So I want to start with this teal matte called Wind. I'm going to place that in the inner portion of my lid, and I'm going to only bring that over about 1/3 of the way into my crease. So I am actually going to pop the shade Wind into my crease, a little bit above my crease, just because I do have slightly hooded eyes and I do want to be able to see this amazingly beautiful shade when my eyes are open. Basically going to be creating my version of a faux halo eye. It's really easy if you just do a shade on the inner corner and a shade on the outer portion of your eye and leave the middle open for your shimmer. It just, for me, makes it much easier and faster to do a halo eye. This shade is so insanely beautiful. Then I'm going to pick up this purple matte called, I think it's La Calories. The writing on here is gold foil and it's cursive, so it's really hard to read. I actually had to put my glasses on and I still can't fully read it, but I think it is La Calaveras. And I'm going to pop that on that outer portion of my lid, and I'm going to keep it on the outer third, leaving that middle section open for shimmer. This purple's beautiful, and you know I always say purples are super hard to formulate, especially these brighter purples rather than those really deep ones. These can be even harder. They can be patchy, not pigmented, but this is gorgeous. So I'm going to pick up this kind of pastel yellowy green shade called Capal. And I'm going to use that basically just to kind of blend out the edges, kind of soften the edges of the purple and of that teal shade. For being a pastel, this is showing up absolutely beautifully. It is the perfect blending shade. As always, I'm going to use my NYX glitter glue. And when I do these faux halo eyes, I'm going to put the glitter glue everywhere my eye is blank. So basically right in the middle where there's no shadow, and I even bring the glue into the crease, because with a halo eye, you actually bring your shimmer shade up into your crease. So I have to use this rainbow shade right here. It has kind of gold, then blue, then purple. It's one of those marbled shades. I think it's called Oleanda. Like I said, it's really hard to read, but this is just this stunning multi-chrome. Literally shifts. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it literally shifts from gold to blue to purple. I'm going to place that right in the middle. Oh, wow. Right where I put my glitter glue, essentially creating that halo eye. That is insane. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. I'm really glad that I used the teal and the purple, because those were the perfect mattes with this multi-chrome shadow. And again, I'm just tapping that right in the center of my eye. Then with a brush, finger application perfection. These are those wet, really foiled shimmers. I'm going to pick up this purple shimmer called Unity with a flat brush, and I'm just going to place that on the outer portion of the halo eye, closest to the purple matte, and then again on the inner portion closest to the teal matte. And this is just going to bring the purple in even more and just add that little bit of depth to the shimmers, and this purple is stunning. So for the lower lash line, I definitely want to pop in this really beautiful cobalt blue called Agua, and I'm going to buff that with that flat brush on my lower lash line. And I'm going to stay really close to my lash line. Did kind of pull that over too to create a faux wing. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this purple shade called Paulina. It's a pastel purple, and I'm just going to buff that on top. Ooh, that's so pretty. That's going to help diffuse that out, make it a little bit more smoky. Okay, I'm gonna be butchering these names. I'm going to pick up this really wet shade called Colchin. I honestly have no idea. You can see when I press into this that it's very wet. It's very spongy. That shade would probably be better served with the finger, but I am going to pick it up on a brush and just pop a little bit of that in my inner corner. Oh my goodness, that is pretty. That is very foiled, and it definitely leans a little bit more on the pink side. Again, that type of shade where it's really flaky, really foily is much better served with your finger, but it did work with the brush. It just sometimes can flake off and you can get some glitter mess on your face, but that is so absolutely beautiful. I'm actually excited to put that shade all over my lid. So let me do some liner, some mascara, a lippy, get ready for the day, and I'll be back to share my thoughts on the Gourmande Girls Calavera palette. So here is the completed look using the brand new Gourmande Girls Calavera palette. I love my look so much. You guys, this multi-chrome in here that I have on my lid, that rainbow kind of marbled multi-chrome is insane. It is absolutely beautiful. And then popping that purple just on the edges just brought the entire look together. I did use a ColourPop liner in my waterline, a blue liner, just again, pull in the blues. But this palette is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I would say, honestly, it's one of my favorite palettes from Gourmande Girls. Everything from the color story to the shimmery shades. Now there is only 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this black kind of burgundy leaning shade. I guess you could call that a shimmer. 5 shimmer shades in the palette, but they're stunning. They're multi-chromes. They're absolutely beautiful. Love that this is black based. It's so smoky and spooky. It's insane. This palette is insane. I can't wait to use the oranges and the yellows and the green. Like I said, I see fall, I see spring, I see summer, I see spooky season. I even see winter looks with, again, that black base shimmer. We've got this red shimmer, some red, some black, just absolutely beautiful. I think color story wise, this is the best Gourmande Girls has ever put out. I also think shimmer wise, it stacks right up with the rest of their shimmers. They're so sparkly and shifty and beautiful. And the packaging also is my favorite from Gourmande Girls. And I'm not mad about a little bigger palette. I actually like that this is a square. It'll be really easy to store. I think it's really, really good. Definitely, definitely worth the money. And like I said, you can use my code for 10% off of the Gourmande Girls website on the Calavera palette or anything else on their website. I really like this. I can see myself reaching into this a lot this season. And I really, like I said, am inspired to create more looks with the palette. And with my massive palette collection, that speaks volume. So this is one palette for spooky season for fall that I would highly recommend. Again, I will have it linked down below, as well as my favorite beauty boxes, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing today. If you want to shop this completed look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and don't forget, come follow me over on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. Yes, 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 really, truly the palette for spooky season.